Hello, everyone. Welcome back to From Cincy to Stardom. And again, I'm your host, Nick Namyar, and this is the show where we bring local musicians in, professionals, and students to inspire the next generation of stars. Nadia, our co-host, is currently hard at work with finals, so everyone please wish her luck, but she will be back next week, hopefully. And today we've got someone who brings full-on dream world energy with her music, and both to the music and acting world even. She is a singer-songwriter, guitarist, and actress whose sound blends lyrical storytelling with almost an indie acoustic edge, and her voice is unreal. Please welcome the ever-enchanting Sophie Stockton.
Thank you for having me, Nick. That was such a sweet introduction.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
thank you. And her music lives somewhere, I would say, between Bjork's experimental soul and Fiona Apple's poetic chaos.
I'm here for that.
But with a
yes.
totally unique voice all of her own. She's currently a sophomore at the University of Cincinnati, College Conservatory of Music, majoring in acting, right?
Correct.
Beautiful. And she recently lit up the stage in Cincinnati Shakespeare's Company's Macbeth, I saw.
did.
What was that like?
It was very, very scary and stressful. I'm not gonna lie. It was very fun, but I was understudying. Which I had never understudied before. And I got the call the first time they had me go on. We were going to rehearsals and things were good. And, you just prepare as much as you can for the role. And then I got a call at it was 1:20 for a 2 o'clock show. And they were like, hey, we need you to go on today. And I let out the loudest scream ever, in my apartment. And I was like, I have to go. I have to go. So
Because, like, an understudy, they always hope. Well, I don't know if they hope, but I was an understudy in
Yeah.
high school for something, and I was like, I hope I'm not actually I'm just like, oh, just in case, but I didn't actually want to.
Yeah, yeah. It was it once after, especially after the first show, because I went on 4 times, I think. After the first show, I was like, oh, this is so awesome, and I was,
That's
it
so
was, and I
cool.
felt like I was part of the cast or something, but it was that first 40 minutes of pure adrenaline of I have to make it to the theater, and what if this all goes terrible, and my friends had to calm me down, and then it ended up being great.
Oh my
It was very scary though. Understudying is definitely a different
Yeah,
beast.
that's a huge role. There's a lot of pressure, I feel even if, but I wanted to ask also for people who don't know, could you explain kind of the Cincinnati Shakespeare? Because I feel that's such a big thing in Cincinnati. When I was in high school and elementary school, they took us to the Cincinnati Shakespeare
Yeah.
show. So I guess how did you get into it? How did you find out about it?
Yeah, so one of the cool parts about CCM Acting, we have an understudying program with them. So, when we audition for our shows, when we audition for our shows for the year, one of the auditions that we can do is for Cincinnati Shakespeare Company, and we can be part of the understudy program, and we get college credit to
Amazing.
work at to be in a professional theater and professional rehearsals. And it's quite awesome. It's very cool.
Gosh, that's so cool. Well, thank you again. We kind of got just headstrong into that topic, but I wanted you to be able to kind of introduce yourself. How would you, for people who don't know you, what would you say about yourself? 3 words even to describe yourself.
Oh, 3 words.
I always like to ask that.
I don't know. Oh no. I don't know if I can give 3 words,
Yeah,
but I
just
feel
any
like
description.
I kind of feel like I'm a little bit all over the place. I always feel like I'm very introverted, but I'm very extroverted, and I have a pretty good head on my shoulders. I'd say good head on my shoulders.
I love that.
Yeah.
That-
And silly. I've got 2.
And you're confident, I feel too.
I'd say I'm pretty confident.
When
yeah.
I see you, you're always and you know what you want. I feel also another thing we did, for people who don't know, we collaborated on a music video. That's
Yes,
how we
we
met.
did.
With Video Production Club, they had the opportunity for me to do that, and immediately your song was my favorite out of the bunch that they
Aw.
sent. So I was like, if I could direct this one, that'd be awesome. I didn't think they'd actually choose me to direct it because I wasn't super involved in VPC, but they chose me, and I guess because of some of my prior background with directing projects, but yeah, that was so fun. Even though I had never done a film in the forest like that before, but
Yeah.
that was really fun. Kind of, what was kind of your experience doing that? Was that your first music video that being involved in for yourself, or?
Yeah, so I had what have I done? Oh, I did some in high school. I was in a band, and we always had plans to do music videos, and things just got in the way. Life got in the way, so This was like this is the first music video I've done for real, and the first one I've done for any of my music. And it was very exciting, and it kind of came out of the blue. But shout out VPC.
Exactly. So. Shout out VPC. And are you able to say kind of what inspired the song? For people who don't know, like kind of what inspires your songwriting in general, what would you kind of say? What themes or how would you describe your music?
I'd say, a word that other people often describe it as is they call it haunting. Like they're like hauntingly beautiful.
I love that.
And like I'd agree. I think that's kind of a sound I go for, is like stuff that sounds a little bit, I don't know, a little bit off kilter, but like, I don't know, like a lot of times the chords are kind of, I just make shapes with my fingers and then the chords sound a bit funky, but like my voice sounds pretty over top of them. But I guess songwriting wise, when I'm writing songs, it's almost always honestly like something a bit sad. Just because I think that it's really, for me, it's like the way I get through things as I write.
Music is therapy. You
Precisely.
know what I mean? Like when I was 14, like I haven't done a lot of like songwriting because I'm not like in that side of the music industry. But when I was like 14, like I had this whole notebook of like, and I would like write songs, practice like kind of, it's like poetry almost, but you're trying to think of it in like a sonic way. So I think that's like a really just great way for therapy. I mean, also like even like art, like what are some other ways outside of like music and songwriting or that you kind of feel like you express yourself whether through acting? Do you do like fine art or stuff? Like what would people not know about you?
I wish I did fine art. I wish I could draw. I really can't. Or I can't yet. If I want to, I can learn. But yeah, I mean acting, honestly, it's kind of the thing for me is like with acting, as much as it is creative, it's also like if you have to play a role, but you know what I mean? Even if it's not like how you feel in the moment, or if it's not the type of character you want to play in this current moment. But what feels so nice about music is it's like a thing for me that it's like I'm feeling this way right now, so I can write about this right now, or I can sing this song right now in this moment. But like acting is so freaking cathartic and amazing and beautiful. And that's really like, those are my two things. Fashion, maybe.
I love it. Yes, you do have a nice style, like indie sort of. Is that the right way to describe it?
I'd say like it just really just changes on what I'm feeling. And it's really, I like just trying different stuff. And
You said something I really liked though that I want to go back to. Like you said like the music that you write is like very much like in the moment, like it's like that present moment. And like because I feel like a lot of artists have said something like this before where they're like, I wrote this album like over a year ago, and like maybe they don't like, they're like Madison Beer, actually, she said this. I don't know if you're familiar with her.
Madison. Yeah.
But like one of her first album, she said, that's not how I feel now. Like I wrote it so long ago, and like the marketing, like labels like take so long to finish out like an artist project that like by the time it's out, sometimes you're in a whole different space. And that's why I feel like for like independent artists, like an emerging artists like yourself, I feel like it's really special that you're able to kind of like release whenever you want. You know what I mean? Do you feel like you have like that control and all that like right now? Like how would you say, what are the benefits of like being kind of independent with your music? And I mean, yeah.
I'd say just like a pro to like our day and age now that we have the internet, and that if you write a song and you want to release it right then and there, you can. It's really awesome. Like for me, the music that I've released so far took quite some time because I did it in like a studio environment, and I was like trying to actually like really, it was the first time recording it's a lengthy process. But there's also, if I can, record something and then post it on SoundCloud or Instagram whenever I want. So I think I feel a mix of both. I'm definitely not tied to a studio or anything. I'm not to that level of success.
Do you record
yet.
your stuff in like a studio in CCM, or where do you record?
So, well, like at this point in my home or in my closet.
I love that.
But the album I recorded this past summer, I recorded with like one of my dad's friends. He does music, and he's kind of worked he recorded my band in high school, our album. And he's kind of been sort of a mentor for me.
I'm sorry to
interrupt. This was this was last year. My band from high school, October Tuesday, we released an album. We recorded an album summer 2023, and we released it October 2023.
I love that. Summer 2023, like so appropriate.
Yes,
The
yes.
title.
And, no.
Or was it?
That was when we recorded it. It's called.
Oh, I thought it was
Sorry,
called
yeah, sorry, I'm confusing you. I talk fast.
that. No,
Apologies.
I do too.
Oh, what was it? It has everything to do with cars. That's what it's called. And
I love that.
but yes, so he served as Brian, the guy that recorded me. He served as kind of a mentor for me. He has done music his whole life, and he's got a studio in his home, and yeah, so he's a friend, so he let me record stuff, and it was really awesome.
That's so cool. And I feel like you're balancing acting and music like a total pro also. Like, I wanted to ask like more about your process. Like, when you're writing a song, what usually comes first? Is it like the lyrics? Is it a chord progression, a vibe, a feeling? Like, what kind of is your process with music?
I feel like it's been a little bit different. It depends on the song. A lot of times, if I'm really feeling a certain way, I'll just write in my journal, and I'll just write things down, and I know that I can save them and use them later. Even if I don't have a song for them quite yet or a place for them to fit, I can put them in later. So sometimes a lot of times it's that, and then a lot of times it's like, I'll just start messing around playing chords, and I find something that sounds pretty, I guess, to me, and start singing it, and then I'm like, oh, these lyrics fit in. And then I can kind of expand on that thought or that feeling. It really depends, because I just recently wrote a song that I was like, it has lyrics in it that I've been like literally keeping for like 3 years or so, that I'm like, I haven't found a way to use these yet, but I know I want to use them in a song.
One day.
Yeah, and then I found the day.
Was it Think of You? Or?
No.
Oh.
Think of You, like I kind of just wrote straight through.
Mm-hmm.
It really depends, yeah.
Thank you for sharing your process. I think now we're going to play one of her songs, Think of You, which is the one that we made the music video for.
Yes,
so yeah, everyone, tune in, and we'll be back in 3 minutes after this ends, or 3 minutes, 19 seconds.
Perfect.
I want you
Okay, and we're back right
Hello.
before that other song was about to play. But hi. Okay, so Sophie, that was the amazing Think of You, by the way. Everyone check out Sophie on Spotify, by the way. Sophie Stockton. She has actually a bunch of music out. I wanted you to tell us about Silly Song. That's like your most recent release, right? And kind of tell us about what could people expect if they tuned in.
Um, well, I recorded this song in my closet at
Oh my
home.
gosh, iconic.
Um, yeah, this is about this is about a little like fun situation night I had in Ireland.
You went to Ireland?
I did. I went to Ireland this past summer.
For what?
I did like a study abroad thing. It's like an acting. I was there for an acting
Mm,
program, and yeah, it was just a month thing. It was an
that's
entire
cool.
summer, but it was
Mm,
awesome. It was very fun
I love that. Oh
in
my gosh.
Dublin.
And what about Dress Up, the album? So that was released this year as well. Like, what kind of sonic cohesion or theme of it? Like, how would you describe it? Maybe
I'd
three
say
words. No, I'm
three
kidding.
words. I'd say a lot of it is a lot of these songs, like Madison Beer said, a lot of them don't quite resonate with me anymore. They
Interesting.
still resonate with me, but a lot of it I wrote when I was like 17, 18, like, and even, I'm 19, so it's like everything changes so much every single year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of it is like senior year of high school, like first year of college energy. Um, and yeah, it's a lot of like first heartbreaks and just feeling like, I don't know, I guess almost inadequate as a teenage girl. And so the idea of like dressing up and like you put on this front every day, that's kind of what resonated with me. And
That's so cool.
yeah.
What a cool metaphor, I feel like, for like life and all of the, I don't know, hats you
Yeah.
have to wear, all of the like different things you do, like dressing up in different eras almost, I feel like. Cause like in
Yeah.
college, like, and especially you mentioned like, 17 to 18 to 19, like you're completely different people almost because you're learning so much about yourself in those years, especially college, like freshman year, like high school, senior year to freshman year of college is like the biggest thing. Like,
Literally.
so yeah. And
Literally.
then I wanted to talk about kind of like who your biggest musical influences are, maybe like kind of what inspires your style, whether it's any older artists or current artists kind of that are taking over, or maybe they're more indie artists that people should tune into.
Well, I love to talk about my favorite artists.
Period.
Well, my all-time favorite is Radiohead. I love
So
Radiohead.
fun.
I don't, because I'm on acoustic, I don't always have that like big rock and roll sound, but I've absolutely been influenced by them. Um, and Fiona Apple is another fave, Bjork, and David Bowie is like my absolute icon inspiration
Iconic.
forever. Yeah, I think anybody really for me, I've noticed the pattern is that I'm drawn to people with pretty vulnerable sounding voices. Like they're so expressive with their performance. That's been the common theme. But yeah, those are my
I
top
love that.
ones.
They're all people that have very expressive like brands, I feel like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like how do you see your brand evolving maybe as you keep going as an artist with your projects, and maybe like do you see yourself like experimenting with other like visual styles or even fashion, or do you kind of see yourself just kind of going with the flow?
That's a hard
I
question.
know.
Um
Like if you were signed, like
yeah.
what would you
Like yeah, honestly, like I think about that type of thing a lot because I'm like, who could I compare my artistic journey to?
Hmm.
And like honestly, David Bowie's up there for me because he's done so much. Whatever creative thing he has like felt the impulse for, he has tried and done. And obviously it's every artist's dream to get to, follow their creative impulses always, but like, you know, I like a little bit of everything, and I'd be down to try just about anything. And I do want to go with the flow some, and have so many different, honestly, like having so many different skills, you can have different streams of income. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
yeah.
you also just get to make art every day when you got a lot of stuff going on.
Exactly. I love that. And I wanted
Woo!
to ask, so now we're kind of getting into the acting as well too.
Yes.
So one more question I kind of wanted to ask about like the intersection of acting and songwriting is how does your acting background, how have you felt like that influences your songwriting together, maybe like that experience of getting to do that. And do you approach a song like you would like a monologue or a scene or something like that? Or
I love these questions. um I think that I think that my experience acting has made me a more expressive artist, a more expressive singer, and I'm more willing to be vulnerable, I think. Like especially in an academic setting with acting, there's a lot of you have to try and fail and be so vulnerable and you know what I mean in classroom spaces, and I think that has built up my ability to just kind of just go for anything. I feel pretty like willing to just be vulnerable with my music because of it. And would I say I approach songs like a monologue or anything? Not necessarily, but I do think I've got a pretty good knack for words because I have to use words. Like, because people always say, you know, what makes Shakespeare beautiful is that it's like a song. And I'm like, oh, so like I have to navigate when I do Shakespeare, like it's almost like a song. And like, I don't know, I feel like I know why words sound good together, and I'm able to utilize that when I write songs.
Yeah, that was an amazing answer for that. And like I was thinking about it a little bit too while you were talking. And like I'm thinking, like I feel like in a way they're really different though, because like in acting you're always playing like another character. It's never like really involving yourself personally, at least normally not. But and also like in music though, like there's a lot of conversation, especially lately, about like authenticity with artists. And I feel like, you know, a lot of the times like with record labels, like the artist is kind of leaning into a character, you know, like Lady Gaga, or who's a good example of like someone that,
I mean, yeah, honestly,
Chappell Roan.
Chappell Roan, yeah.
Like she explicitly mentions that Chappell is a character. Like when she's, I think her own name is Ashley, I think, or when she's herself, like she doesn't want to be associated with that character. So in a way, like those are how I see acting and like being a singer kind of intersecting. But like for yourself, like I feel like you really want to lean into your like 100% authenticity. Like from what I see, like I feel like you're very authentic. Would you agree with like kind of what I'm saying about?
I would. I'd say that when I do my music, it's just me, you know? And I think the cool thing about acting, what makes it creative, is the choices that you get to make and what you bring from yourself into a character. But it's really hard, you know? It's acting is really hard, and it's really hard to always feel like you're doing that. It's easy to get in your head, but I also I think that's why more and more young people are wanting to create their own work and their own projects, write their own plays, and create their own films that they act in, because they can play, you know, people that they see themselves in. So I think it just kind of is a mixed bag. Depends on what, you know, depends on the role, depends on what you're doing. Yeah.
I love that. And I love making my own films, like you mentioned. Music videos is my favorite genre. And I wanted to ask also, how do you see both of these skills, like acting, singing, and all the other amazing things that you do, manifesting into a career after graduation or an internship? Could you see yourself on Broadway? Do you prefer a certain type of theater, acting, and films? Like, what type of thing, or do you kind of want to do it all? Like, what is the area you'd like to see yourself in most?
I absolutely love live performance, but I have found myself more and more interested in film as like my acting medium, because I think every day on set is different versus doing like the same, you know, if you're in a run for a show, for a play or a musical, it's the same. You're doing the same play. It's different every night, and you're, you know, you can keep it fresh every night, but it's still the same show versus like we have to film these scenes on this day and these scenes on this day. And so I think like my like ideal life and ideal career would be like film acting and then like performing my own music, which that's, you know, that's the dream. But I love a good stage play, and I love a good musical, and I would absolutely do both. So
you can do it all, is what I'm getting at. And also, I wanted to ask, so we were talking about like acting in film. Like, if you could star in any show or movie, what's the role you would choose?
Ooh.
White Lotus, horror, a Tim Burton fantasy, a Netflix coming of age film, Stranger Things. Kind of, what's your dream show or role? Like, what are you like? Get me in this.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with. I know you asked about film. I'm gonna start with theater though, because that's the one I have off the top of my head. I would love to be Nina in The Seagull, by Anton Chekhov.
I haven't seen it. Oh my god.
It's a
Put us
little bit.
on.
It's an older play. It's really good. Anton Chekhov is amazing.
Shout out.
Maybe like maybe like Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors. I'm going with the musical.
Fun.
And then I like maybe Lady Bird, Christine in Lady Bird.
My sister likes that.
Yeah, I love that movie, and I've always I think the reason I love it so much is because it hits a little too close to home.
Oh.
So it's just a great movie. So a character like that, kind of a coming age thing. Yeah.
You would eat that up, as we know.
Well, you're very kind.
And I wanted to ask, if you weren't doing music or acting, what would be your dream alt career? Or what's like a wild thing you would see yourself doing? Like, are you like a cottagecore librarian in Iceland, or the creative director for an avant-garde fashion label? Kind of what would kind of be your vibe?
I like the creative director for the avant-garde. I like that. I definitely probably a creative field. I think like I could see myself, which this is probably like if I have to have all artists have to have like a quote unquote real job. I'd love to see myself working in like a recording studio or like in a production company or something for like, films. But I always have seen myself as almost like a nutritionist or something.
That's so fun. Do you feel like you're very like health conscious? Is that how you say?
I think I like maybe more of a food therapist type thing. I like the idea of like helping people, I don't know,
meet their goals.
Yeah, and like heal their bodies, I guess. There's just so much
smoothies.
You never know. Well, yeah, you never know. People never know what's right to eat and do, and there's so much. All of our, everything that we do with health is around aesthetics as well, and I think like that's something I'd be interested in a career possibly in. But
oh my gosh, we should have a whole episode about like food.
I'm not an expert at all. I just think that stuff's interesting. So
I love that. Well, that's so cool, nutritionist. Okay, well maybe one day I'll see you balancing nutritionist with.
Oh God,
artists.
that's I hope not. Honestly.
I know. Yeah. And then the last deep one, I guess. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like what city, sort of area? Like kind of what would you?
I want to go to New York City.
Period. Come with
me. To New York City. We should go.
Party in New York.
Yeah. New York City or Chicago, but also like
Chicago. Yeah.
Maybe abroad. I don't know. Like I would love to live. I would love to live outside of the U.S. Wouldn't we all?
Paris,
yeah,
Tokyo.
London, Paris. I don't know. Maybe like yeah, but New York is like the main one. I'm visiting New York this summer. I've never been, so I need to decide if I'd actually like to live there or not.
Fun. Oh my gosh.
So,
well, I'll keep you updated on how my New York journey goes. Too. And I also wanted to ask one more sort of question for the folks listening who are just kind of starting, whether they're a freshman trying to get into acting, or maybe they're just someone who wants to start like a music career. What advice would you give to someone who wants to step into that world?
So take all my advice with a grain of salt, because I am also very new to all this and I'm also learning. But I'd say just be brave and be brave and put yourself out there. And, when you go to shows or something, talk to people about, the stuff you do. And also, use, I guess with music, use YouTube. You can learn, you can be disciplined, and you can practice from, lessons online. Just honestly be brave. I think be brave. You can't always, my teacher always says, what did she say? You can't always be brave, but you can always have courage, or something like that. I don't know. Just be courageous. I totally messed up that quote.
I love that. That's amazing. And even like you mentioned, like YouTube, like don't be afraid, like be brave. You can even like post videos of yourself like singing, just kind of see what people think and like feel confident. Also like maybe build like a team or something, almost like a mini team of like friends who have different skill sets and want to support you. Like for example, maybe you have someone who's like creative and can help you with like your first cover art or music video or something like that.
Absolutely.
Maybe a producer, maybe.
Absolutely.
So like I think different people just kind of in a support system. Maybe someone who doesn't know anything about music, but they just are kind of hyping you up. So I think those are really important things when you're starting. Just people who kind of respect the art and the process.
I agree.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. Find the friends, that you so many cool people have so many cool skills. And one thing, I mean, honestly, if you're in college, take the artistic classes you want to try, because there's so many cool things you can try while you're in school. Especially UC, they've got so many opportunities.
Literally. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. And now we're going to do a quick game, a rapid fire game of this or that. Okay.
Amazing.
Are you ready?
Yes,
okay, here we
so
go.
ready.
So let's see. You're just going to say the first one that comes to mind when I say these. So studio session or live performance?
Live performance.
Period. Acoustic guitar or synth soundscape?
Ooh, acoustic guitar, I guess.
Fun, yes. Rehearsal or improv?
Rehearsal.
Period. Period drama or indie coming of age film?
Indie coming of age
period.
film.
Not like period drama as in like a time.
Yeah, I'd still say indie coming of age film. I get you though.
Yeah. Coffee shop stage or Shakespeare in the Park?
Oh, coffee shop stage.
That's fun. Bjork's Homogenic or Fiona Apple's Fetch the Bolt Cutters?
Ooh, that's so hard. I'm gonna say homogenic.
Fun. New York or LA? We got that.
New York. I've never been to either though, so I
wow.
can't give a clear.
Gosh. I love LA. I've never been to
Yeah.
New York, so we'll see. Writing alone or collaborating?
Oh, I write alone better, but I want to write with other people more. So I don't have an answer.
Love that. And last one, sad girl playlist or hype playlist?
I fear that the sad girl playlist is playing more often than the hype
Aww.
girl. It's okay.
We're college students. We're going through it. It's
Exactly.
finals. Yeah. So now, thank you so much, Sophie. We're going to now have you play a live performance after the next song. But anything else you want to say before we get into that?
I thank you so much for having me on here.
You're
and
amazing.
yes, always be courageous. Don't let fear get in the way of trying new things. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Words from the wise, everyone. So now she's going to get ready to play some live music for you guys.
Yes, I
We'll
will.
tune in 3 minutes or 4 minutes. Okay.
All right, this first one is called Silly Song. I am watching from afar and I can see tonight's big star, and one look gives me expectation, fills me with anticipation. You're a silly, silly boy, I know you're full of shit, I'm kinda into it. Good, but I look better. Ultimately, doesn't matter. Take this dress off for you later. Who cares how it covers me? You're a silly, silly boy. I know you're full of shit. I'm kinda into it. Off with a blonde, but you have stones where I should be, and you'll have everything from me. You're a silly, silly boy. I know you're full of shit. I'm kinda into it. You will treat me like I'm lovely, proceed to say you own me. You are such a fucking phony. I'm stating the obvious. You're a silly, silly boy. I know you're full of shit. I'm kinda into it. Silly, silly, silly. Silly, silly, silly. Silly, silly. You're a silly, silly boy. I know you're full of shit. I don't care a bit. Thank you.
That was incredible. Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you. Can I do... Okay, this next one is called Pluck Song.
Let's do it.
How he sweeps me off of my feet, how he takes me in his wing. All my troubles turn to nothing, then again it's all pretend. I am searching for a feeling, happy ending never ends. The day leaves me growing weary, so I slowly drift to sleep. And in my dreams I am floating, if I fall it'll catch me. For a moment I lose all care, then I wake without him there. In the morning I see no one I can share my secrets to. I can feel it, he can hear me, then again it's all pretend. I am searching for a feeling that one simply can't describe. So I slowly close my eyes, I no longer have to hide. And in my dreams I am floating, if I fall it'll catch me. For a moment I lose all care, then I wake without him there. La 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 la. I'm floating, if I fall it'll catch me. For a moment I'll lose all care, then I wake without him there.
Hauntingly beautiful. The haunting, like I felt that. And so beautiful. Like I felt like so peaceful.
Thank you, Nick.
Of course, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Would you like to do any more?
Ooh.
One more maybe?
Why not?
Everyone's enjoying.
Let's do Think of You.
My mom says beautiful music.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Hi Mom, I love you.
Hello, Nick's mother.
She loves the live music.
I love the live music.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's gonna drink some water.
We'll do Think of You. I know I gotta stay hydrated.
Can't wait.
I must go. I have to leave. You don't know what you mean. But I can't look you in the eye. Did I make you cry? If we grow apart,
That was amazing. Thank you so much, Sophie, again for playing.
Thank
Sophie,
you so much.
thank you for joining me today. Also, everyone, go stream Think of You. Go stream all of her other music out now. Silly Song, all of those fun things that she's releasing. And if you're in Cincinnati, keep an eye out for her next performance, maybe, whether it's on stage or under the tree in the woods somewhere, like in the music video.
So true.
The music video. And
check my Instagram, Sophie Stockton _, for any upcoming shows. So yes.
Is there anything that people can expect to see next? Maybe like one event or something.
Next, I think I'm next May 3rd, I believe. I have a show May 3rd. I know I will have a show May 10th. With some other bands possibly gonna get the amazing Donna Mon on there. And yeah, I'll post more about it when it comes closer to May 10th. But yeah.
Perfect. Thank you all again, and see you next week for our probably final episode of the semester of From Cincy to Stardom with two very, very special guests as well who are professionals in the film and radio field. So thank you all again for tuning in. Catch us next week.
So fun. So fun.